Hey, what is going on guys? My name's Long Sensation and today we've got for you guys is episode 4 of my comparison series in which we compare some of the best weapon variants up against one and each other within Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. For this episode, the Mp11 Goliath will be going up against the Mp11 Squeaker, and once this video gets to just 200 likes, I'll then upload the next episode in which we'll be covering the HBR Insanity up against the Mp11 Obsidian Steed. But anyway guys, without further ado, let's jump into today's video. So first of all, as you guys can imagine, the Goliath and Squeaker are very similar in stats because of course they are both variations of the Mp11. However, once we start to take a look at the stats of both of these weapons, you'll start to see a few subtle changes which is overall going to determine which is the best elite variation of the Mp11. So first of all, for damage, as always, the Goliath will deal 30-30-24, meaning 4 to 5 bullets to kill depending on your range. Moving on to the Squeaker, this will deal 30-24-19, meaning it will take between 4 and 6 bullets to kill, once again depending on your range. Now moving on to range, these weapons are very similar because the range is exactly the same for both of these weapons. However, because the Goliath damage is much higher than that of the Squeaker, this will kill in 4 bullets up to 22 meters as opposed to the Squeaker's 12 meters. Now moving on to rounds per minute, this is where the Squeaker definitely does shine. It is actually the fastest firing weapon within Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. It will deal a staggering 1,200 rounds per minute as opposed to the Mp11's Goliath's 923. Then when we move on to magazine size, this again is very standard at 32 rounds per magazine or 48 with extended mags. But then when we start to take a look at the subtle changes of these weapons, this is where it definitely gets interesting. For example, taking a look at the built-in attachments for both of these variations, the Mp11 Goliath will have 0 restrictions, meaning that you can pretty much stick on any attachment you want, and there is no built-in attachment with this weapon. However, taking a look at the Mp11 Squeaker, this will always have in a built-in red dot sight, which is definitely one of the biggest drawbacks for me for the Squeaker. Now the reason for this is quite simple. I think that the Mp11 iron sights are very clear and very good, and I definitely don't think that a built-in red dot sight is needed for this weapon, especially considering it's got an incredibly high fire rate and therefore you're going to find yourself hip firing much more than aiming down sights. As well as this, taking a look at other subtle changes, the Mp11 Goliath will have a plus 30% hip spread, meaning that this weapon is definitely not advised for hip firing. Taking a look at the Mp11 Squeaker, this will have a plus 20% view kick, meaning that this weapon is going to kick like a mule, and it's definitely not advised to aim down sights with this weapon, especially at longer ranges. As for comparing both of these weapons and actually deciding which is best, once again there will be a straw poll down below in the description and you guys can vote on which you think is the best Mp11 variation. However, what I'm going to say is that both of these weapons are very different indeed, and they're both differently suited depending on your playstyle. For example, I'm going to say that the Goliath is definitely more suited to picking off enemies at medium to longer ranges, but the Mp11 Squeaker is definitely one of those variations that you want to use in game modes such as Momentum, where you want to run on the flag and spray down as many enemies as possible. But anyway guys, this has been episode 4 of my gun comparison series in which we compare some of the best weapon variants up against one and each other within Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. As always, once this video gets to 200 likes, I'll then upload the next episode in which we'll be covering the HBR Insanity up against the Mp11 Obsidian Steed. But anyway guys, I've been Long Sensation, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.